You're listening to Screen of the Crime.
I'm Tess.
And I'm Maggie, and this is a podcast where we talk about true crime.
And what would happen if your favorite TV and movie characters committed those crimes. Welcome back.
Welcome back. This is our 10th episode.
Hello.
Ooh.
Welcome. We've made it this far.
That's amazing.
Truly.
It's been so long.
I know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a good amount of people listening, so how are you all?
How's everyone?
Yeah, comment below.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, also, quick announcement, if you're a listener and you are listening to whatever podcast, like Service or Spotify or whatever, soon we're going to be also adding YouTube as well. Mm-hmm. So that'll be good because we can caption our videos as well, which would be nice. And we'll try and do video as well as audio. So
you get to see our beautiful faces.
Yeah, and it could just be, if you're someone who likes just binging YouTube, then
we'll be there.
We'll be on there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, get hyped for that.
Quick shout out. We got our first Patreon. It's Cold the Air McKay. The love of my life.
Yeah. Shout out to Coldier. He's the best.
We love you, Cold the Air. We do this only for you.
Yes.
No one else. So if you want to get on that bandwagon, if you want us to make podcasts for you, and you want to help us make those podcasts, you can become a supporter too. It's like $1 a month. And you can get your name said by my beautiful voice. Or Tess's.
Either one. You can request
whatever you prefer.
Yeah. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, how are you?
I'm good. We are in a recording studio. Yeah. There's quotations around that.
Yeah, air quotes recording studio, but we've moved spaces.
We have chairs now.
Yeah. And the mic, I'm no longer holding it, because a little behind the scenes fact, I've been like just holding the mic and like sitting on my bed when we've been recording. Dark. But now we're in nice chairs. I have a tripod for the mic.
Yeah.
So we're moving up here on our 10th episode. So yeah. All right. So what is the crime for our...
All right. For our special 10th
for our
episode.
special 10th episode.
10 years. So when I first got into true crimes, I was watching this television show called People's Magazine Investigates. Mm-hmm. And I binged it. And the first episode's the Long Island Killer, which I might get to. It's really interesting. But there's an episode on JonBenet Ramsey. And I got real invested into JonBenet. And then BuzzFeed Unsolved did an episode on JonBenet Ramsey too, but I feel like they didn't do it justice. So now I'm here to do it justice.
Yeah, because I mean, this is, again, I know you prefer when I know nothing going in, but like, this is kind of a very well-known thing, and I did watch the BuzzFeed Unsolved for JonBenet Ramsey.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting, because I think the last episode with the, what was her name? Like, the possessed girl. Exorcist.
Annalise.
Yeah. Like, with her, I thought I knew that case, and I completely did not. So, I feel like that's going to happen again.
Yeah, so I have 7 pages of notes. So in case you didn't know, I normally maybe have 2 pages or 3. This is 7.
Oh, Lord. Everyone strap in.
So we're gonna have a fun time. Tess is looking up at pictures of JonBenet.
She kind of looks like if you combined, like, Katy Perry and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like, as a child.
Yeah, I suppose. She looks like a little Barbie doll.
Yeah.
She's really pretty. So I'm going to start. JonBenet Patricia Ramsey was born August 6, 1990, and died December 25th, 1996. So, a little intel about my family. My brother was born in 1996, so she died the same year he was born. Is he the reincarnation of JonBenet Ramsey? the world may never know. So JonBenet was an American child beauty queen. So like one of those little pageant girls you see on, was it Pageant Moms or?
Toddlers and Tiaras.
Yeah, that show. They're scary.
Yeah.
She was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and was the younger of the 2 children. Her mother was Patsy and her father was John Ramsey. She had a brother named Burke. He was older than her. He was 9 at the time of her death. She went to kindergarten at High Peaks Elementary School in Boulder, Colorado. So a little bit about her parents. John was a businessman who was the president of Access Graphics, a computer system company that later became a subsidiary of Lockheed Martin.
Just some random
facts.
Yeah.
His first marriage ended in divorce in 1978, and his 2 surviving adult children from that marriage live elsewhere. He had a daughter from that marriage that died in a car crash in 1992. Her name was Elizabeth. In 1991, he moved his second family to Boulder, where the headquarters of his work was located. Patricia, aka Patsy, Ramsey entered JonBenet into various child beauty pageants that were in Boulder. JonBenet had won the title of America's Royal Miss, Little Miss Charlevoix, Little Miss Colorado, Colorado State All-Star Kids Cover Girl, and National Tiny Miss Beauty.
Boy.
Fun.
Yeah.
So the day of her murder, or the morning after, per se. No one knows if she died on the 25th or the 26th, because it happened overnight. So the morning of December 26, 1996, Patsy Ramsey found a 3-page ransom note on her staircase. The note read, ready? I'm going to read it to you. It's kind of long.
Okay.
So prepare yourself.
Yeah.
Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully. We're a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We, XX, represent your business, but not the country that it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. She is safe and unharmed, and if you want her to see 1997, you must follow our instructions to the letter. You will withdraw $118,000 from your bank account. $100,000 will be in $100 bills, and the remaining $18,000 in $20 bills. Make sure that you bring an adequate sized attaché to the bank when you get home. We will put the money in a brown paper bag, and I will carry you between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow to instruct. Sorry, it says call.
Yeah, I was reading that along. It's like,
yeah, sorry. I'm illiterate. I will call you between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow to instruct you in a delivery. The delivery will be exhausting, so I advise you to be rested. If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early to arrange an early delivery of the money and hence an early delivery pickup of your daughter. Any deviation of my instructions will result in the immediate execution of your daughter. You will also be denied her remains for proper burial. The 2 gentlemen watching over your daughter do not particularly like you, so I advise you not to provoke them. Speaking to anyone about our situation, such as police, FBI, etc., will result in your daughter being beheaded. If we catch you talking to a stray dog, she dies. If you alert bank authorities, she dies. If the money is in any way marked or tampered with, she dies. You will be scanned for electronic devices, and if any are found, she dies. You can try to deceive us, but be warned that we are familiar with law enforcement's countermeasures and tactics. You stand a 99% chance of killing your daughter if you try to outsmart us. Follow our instructions, and you stand a 100% chance of getting her back. You and your family are under constant scrutiny, as well as the authorities. Don't try to grow a brain, John. You are not the only fat cat around, so don't think that killing will be difficult. Don't underestimate us, John. Use that good Southern common sense of yours. It's up to you now, John. Victory, SBTC.
That was wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very specific. Also, like, the amount that they want in, like, the bills is kind of odd. You
like
know?
the 100,000,
yeah,
hundreds, and then the 18,000 and 20s. Yeah. I feel like towards the end, they get really angry.
Yeah, they do.
At him. And,
so, like, who sent this?
Okay, so it was a ransom note, but it was found on, like, the staircase when Patsy Ramsey was walking. She woke up in the morning, she went down the stairs, and she, like, saw the note.
Yeah.
So it's from SBTC.
Which is what?
No one knows.
Oh, okay. That's what I figured, but, like, okay,
Yeah.
just checking.
No, they never figured it out. So the note demanded $118,000 for the child's safe return, which was the exact value of bonus the husband had received earlier that year.
Oh.
Coincidence? I
No.
think not. The FBI said the note was unusually long and it was written at the scene using a pen and pad of paper from the Ramseys' home. Also, they had left behind a practice draft of the note. So, like, they had written it once and was like, let's write it again. The FBI said the note didn't have any fingerprints and an unusual use of exclamation marks and acronyms. So, like, after victory, there was an exclamation mark, and then there's one after, it's up to you now, John.
Oh, yeah.
And right at the beginning, it says, listen carefully, exclamation point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Huh.
Sorry, I have to scroll. Patsy called the police at 5:52 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
MST, Mountain Standard Time.
Yeah.
Even though
Okay, so quick
Is
thing.
it-
Maggie was like asking me what does MST stand for, like what time zone? She's like, is that like Midwest time zone? I'm like, no, it's Central Time. But I didn't know that this took place in Colorado, so that makes sense now.
that's mountain.
If I had known that, then I would have been like, oh yeah,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
because they're in the mountains.
Even though the note said not to contact the police, she immediately called them. She also called family and friends to inform them of the situation. So 2 cops arrived at the Ramseys' house within 3 minutes of the call. They conducted a cursory search of the house and found no signs of forced entry. Stop reading my paper.
Huh?
Stop reading my paper.
Sorry.
Stop
I'm
looking at
I'm
it.
honestly just reading along with you. I'm
Looking
not
at
going
it.
I'm not going any farther.
Whatever. Officer Rick French went into the basement and came to a door that was secured by a wooden latch, and he did not go through it to look. John made arrangements to pay the ransom, and a forensic team was dispatched to the house. The team initially believed it was a kidnapping case, so only JonBenet's bedroom was isolated to prevent contamination of evidence. So the rest of the house was, like, free to be contaminated.
Yeah.
Friends and family, even the minister, arrived at the house to support the Ramseys. Visitors picked up and cleaned surfaces in the kitchen, possibly destroying evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Boulder detective Linda Ardent arrived at 8 a.m. She was ready to await the kidnappers' call, like they said they would, but no attempt came. At 1 p.m., Detective Ardent asked John and this man named Fleet White, who was a family friend, to search the house to see if anything seemed amiss. John and White started in the basement. John opened the latch door and found JonBenet
Wait.
in the basement. So Officer French
Yeah.
went to the basement, but he saw the door, didn't open it.
Okay.
So when John and White went down, they opened the door and her body was, like, in this separate room in the basement.
Huh. That's weird. So, like, then what's the point of the ransom note if she was already dead, for sure?
Yeah.
I guess
That's the question.
Yeah.
Right? So JonBenet's mouth was covered in duct tape. A nylon cord was found around her wrists and neck, and her torso was covered in a white blanket. John immediately picked up her body and took her upstairs, which contaminated the crime scene.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, he grabbed her and, like, hauled her up. So each of the Ramseys had to provide handwriting, blood, and hair samples to the police. And then John and Patsy participated in a preliminary interview for more than 2 hours. So, let's talk about the autopsy.
Mm-hmm.
The autopsy revealed that JonBenet had died from strangulation and a skull fracture. The cause of death was, quote, asphyxiation by strangulation associated with craniocerebral trauma, unquote. There was no evidence of conventional rape, although sexual assault could not be ruled out. No semen was found, but there was evidence that there had been vaginal injury, and at the time of the autopsy, it appeared her vaginal area had been wiped with a cloth. However, I would like to just add, because a lot of people, in, like, things I've seen or when I speak to people about this case, say that, like, the dad raped her and stuff. There was DNA found on her, and none of it matched the Ramseys. So she wasn't being sexually assaulted by her father, as far as they can prove. So, I don't think he's that bad. So, the garrote that was made from the nylon cord, so the thing wrapped around her neck was a nylon cord with a broken handle of a paintbrush, and then it was tied around her neck, and that was used to strangle her.
Yeah.
So kind of like the tool used to cut clay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of the bristle area of the broken brush was found in a tub containing Patsy's art supplies, but the bottom third of the paintbrush was never found. Which is weird. Autopsy also showed that a quote, vegetable or fruit material which may represent pineapple, unquote, was found in her stomach, so JonBenet must have eaten pineapple before her death. Which is weird.
Yeah, odd detail, but yeah.
Like, it's added and everything. I know BuzzFeed talked about it, too. It's just, like, a weird thing. It doesn't really come into play with her death. It wasn't like she was allergic to pineapple or anything. But,
yeah.
Photographs of the home showed a bowl of pineapple on the kitchen table with a spoon in it. However, both John and Patsy said they did not remember putting the bowl on the table or feeding pineapple to JonBenet. However, 9-year-old Burke's fingerprints were on the bowl.
Who's that?
Her brother.
Oh. Yeah, because I know that's a theory as well.
Yeah. We'll get the theories. But the Ramseys had always maintained that Burke slept through the entire incident until several hours after the police had arrived. So, into the investigation.
Yes.
Boulder police focused their suspicions on John and Patsy as the murderers of their daughter, but by October 1997, they had over 1,600 people in their index of persons of interest for the case. The Ramseys were initially very helpful to the police, but after they were named suspects, they stopped working with them. Like, they were being nice, and they're like, you killed your daughter, and they're like, okay, well, we're not gonna work with you if you're gonna keep saying that we killed their daughter.
Yeah.
Errors were made in the initial investigation, including loss and contamination of evidence, lack of experience and technical staff on the investigation, evidence shared with the Ramseys, delayed informal interviews with the parents. The grand jury was convened in September of 1998 to consider indicting the Ramseys for charges related to the case. In 1999, the year I was born, the grand jury returned a true bill to charge the Ramseys with placing the child at risk in a way that led to her death with obstructing an investigation for murder. But the Boulder County District Attorney did not prosecute because he didn't think there was they were guilty beyond reasonable doubt. So, there's that. The issue with the case was that the cops focused mainly on the parents as opposed to anyone else.
Yeah.
And there are reasons why the parents seem super guilty, and I'll get to that. But also, like, they should have maybe, like, split up their investigation. So, to the theories. There's 2 theories, mainly on the Wikipedia page I was looking at. The intruder theory. So, there was an unidentified boot mark left in the basement room where JonBenet's body was found. So, suspects, including Bill Reynolds, the neighbor who played Santa Claus, former family housekeeper Linda Hoffman Pugh, a man named Michael Helgoth, who died in apparent suicide shortly after JonBenet's death. Hundreds of DNA tests were performed to find a match to the DNA recovered during her autopsy. None matched. The theory is someone broke into the Ramseys' home through the basement window, subdued JonBenet using a stun gun, took her down to the basement, killed her, and left the note. The FBI agent hired by the Ramsey family agreed with this theory. Stephen Singular, author of the book Presumed Guilty, An Investigation into the JonBenet Ramsey Case, the Media, and the Culture of Pornography, refers to consultations with cybercrime specialists who believe that JonBenet, due to her beauty pageant experience, could have attracted the attention of child pornographers and pedophiles. So there were over 100 burglaries in the Ramsey neighborhood in the months before her death, and there were 38 registered sex offenders living within a 2-mile radius of the home, which seems like a lot.
Yeah.
An identified suspect was Gary Howard Oliva, who was arrested on, quote, 2 counts of attempted sexual exploitation of a child and 1 count of sexual exploitation of a child.
That's the same thing.
I know that's the same thing. It's a quote. I don't... the charges in June 2016, according to Boulder Daily Camera, Oliva was a registered sex offender. I think they're just 2 different cases. Like, one was, 2 cases, and the other was, a separate case. So there's that. Mm-hmm. I think BuzzFeed Unsolved goes into the Santa Claus one a little more. But there's, a couple things, many of their suspects couldn't fit through, the basement window. Mm-hmm. Because it was, small and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was, no forced entry into the house. The only weird thing is the boot print that no one knows.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the second one is the family member theory.
Mm-hmm.
So the investigation was focused mainly on John Ramsey. A retired profile with the federal FBI said, quote, statistically, it's a 12-to-1 probability that it's a family member or a caregiver, unquote, who's involved in the death of a child. From the police perspective, they did not see evidence of forced entry. They did see evidence of staging the ransom note, and they did not find the Ramseys cooperative in helping them solve the death of their daughter. The Ramseys had stated that their reluctance was due to their fear and that they would not be a full investigation for intruders and that they would be hastily selected as the key suspects in the case, which they were. With the ransom note, they're pretty sure, they think Patsy faked it because it was similar to her handwriting and it was kind of stuff she'd already know. And she's the one that called the police about it and found the note.
Yeah, because, that's the thing that's also suspicious is, if the note said don't call the police and she immediately called the police,
yeah.
You would think she would, not immediately call them, at least,
Yeah, you'd think she would not want her child to die, as the note stated that she would die.
Yeah.
And it was also written in the home, which is odd, to write a ransom note in the home. Fibers retrieved from the duct tape that was on JonBenet's body matched fibers on Patsy's clothes, but however, they were in the same house. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean. One theory was that Patsy hit JonBenet in a fit of rage over bedwetting and strangled her to cover it up, which happened after mistakenly thinking that she was already dead. So, you get that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. That makes sense to me, though. It was an accidental, or, it wasn't meant to be. She didn't mean to murder her.
Yeah, she didn't plan to murder her daughter, yeah.
But, she had to cover up somehow.
However, Patsy did not have a history of uncontrollable rage, and Burke had later said, quote, we didn't get spanked, nothing of the sort, nothing close, nothing near laying a finger on us, let alone killing your child.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Burke, he, laid low for a super long time because he didn't want him in the limelight. And then he re-emerged on an episode of Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Which is great. Speaking of Burke, he was interviewed by investigators 3 times, but the first 2 didn't raise any concerns about Burke. A child psychologist stated that the Ramseys had a healthy, caring family relationship. A $100,000 reward was offered by the Ramseys in a newspaper ad on April 27, 1997. 3 days later, they submitted a separate formal interview for the first time of the Boulder County Justice Center. In 1999, Colorado Governor Bill Owens told the parents of JonBenet Ramsey to quit hiding behind their attorney and quit hiding behind their PR firm. A Colorado grand jury had voted in 1999 to indict the parents. The indictment cited, quote, 2 counts each of child abuse, unquote, and said the parents, quote, did unlawfully, knowingly, recklessly, and feloniously permit a child to be unreasonably placed in a situation that posed a threat of injury to the child's life or health, which resulted in the death of JonBenet Ramsey, a child under the age of 16, unquote. Which is, like, kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, yeah, their daughter died under their care, but it doesn't show that they put her in any risk of.
Yeah.
Among the experts in the case were DNA specialist Barry Scheck, a forensic expert Dr. Henry Lee. On October 13th, 1999, Alex Hunter, who was the district attorney at the time, refused to sign the indictment, saying that the evidence was insufficient. In December 2003, forensic investigators extracted enough material from a mixed blood sample found on JonBenet's underwear to establish a DNA profile. That DNA belonged to an unknown male person. The DNA was submitted to the FBI's Combined DNA Index System, or CODIS, a database containing more than 1.6 million DNA profiles, but the sample did not match any profiles in the database. In October of 2016, which was 13 years later, new forensic analysis revealed that the original DNA was actually contained genetic markers from 2 individuals other than JonBenet. So instead of 1 DNA, it was 2.
Huh. I wonder how accurate, like, DNA stuff is, you know? Because I've heard it's, like, not, like, one of those, like, like, it's a science, but it's not, like, an exact, like,
yeah,
kind of things, you know?
With DNA, I feel like, from our last case with the pap smear.
Yeah. I didn't like that one bit, but yeah.
Like, you can show that there's, like, a relationship, but you can't find the exact person.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I feel like if you use this DNA, it would match with, like, multiple people. But the fact that it's not matching with anyone in the bank is kind of weird. But then also that was 2013.
Yeah.
Now it's 2016. Well, now it's 2018. But, and this is 2016.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're getting better at it. But it's still, like, kind of not late. Because people are still alive. Like, her dad and brother are still alive. So, I don't...
Yeah. I mean, again, like, it didn't happen that long ago.
No, yeah.
I guess, I mean...
It's not like fingerprints, though.
Yeah.
Because fingerprints are now, like, being...
phased out.
Yeah, because, like, it's, like, mostly from eyeballing it.
Yeah.
Which has human error. I feel like it's more technical.
Yeah.
In July 9th, 2008... Boulder District Attorney Office announced that as a result of newly developed DNA sampling and testing techniques, the Ramsey family members were no longer considered suspects in the case. John Mark Carr, I don't know if you've heard of him, because I have for some reason. A 41-year-old elementary school teacher was arrested in Thailand in August of 2006, where he confessed to murdering JonBenet.
What?
He claimed he had drugged her, sexually assaulted her, and accidentally killed her. But authorities found no evidence linking Carr to the scene, and he could only provide basic facts about the case and couldn't provide convincing details. He claimed he drugged her, but no drugs were found in her body, and Carr's DNA did not match the DNA found on JonBenet. So it was a false confession.
Huh.
And that is where I end this, but I would like to talk about a couple other things.
Okay.
What they are, I can't remember at this exact moment. But it has to do with, like... Oh, yeah. So, when I watched the episode of People's Magazine Investigates...
Yeah.
On JonBenet Ramsey, which I would highly recommend everyone seeing because People Magazine is amazing. My mom was in the kitchen at the time. I was watching it at home.
Yeah.
And I asked her about it, and she's like, oh, yeah, I know all about that. And she's like, the brother did it. And I was like, do explain, Joy.
Yeah.
And she was like, he accidentally killed her, and the mom covered it up. And, you know, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I don't think the brother completely killed her, because, like, he was,
like,
younger at the time.
9.
So I doubt that he would actually be able to do that.
Well, he's 9. She was 6.
Yeah.
And, like, let's say you're play fighting on the bed with your little sister, because
Yeah.
my brother's 3 years older than me, too.
Yeah.
Accidentally bangs her head against the side of the bed or something.
Yeah.
Mom comes in, sees the daughter unconscious on the floor, sees the brother, doesn't want the brother to get arrested,
Yeah.
fakes the daughter's death.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I know Burke was, like, really, really young, and they, like, rushed him out of the house before, like, anyone could talk to him or anything.
Yeah.
Which is what my mom finds super shady about it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that obviously doesn't explain the sexual assault, but maybe that was, like, a separate thing, because she was a child beauty pageant
Yeah.
star, and those poor girls go through a lot. I think it's unsolved. No one knows. I definitely think the ransom note was faked.
Yeah, for sure. Because that seems super random. Like,
Yeah,
it just
no
seems
follow-up
so
on
irrelevant.
it. No one knows what the SB, CT,
Yeah.
TC, or whatever, means. But yeah, that's the case, and it's still unsolved.
Yeah.
So, if you have any knowledge on this case about who did it, I'm sure there's a hotline you can call. Don't call us. I mean, you could call us, but
Yeah.
don't. That's my case.
Nice. Okay.
Your turn.
Okay. Alright, so I didn't know. Like, this whole time I've been, like, just thinking through, like, okay, what's a good comparison? And, like, again, you know, it involves a family.
Yes. It does.
And it takes place in the 90s.
It does.
And if there's something that takes place in the 90s
I don't know
involving
where
a
you-
family.
Where are you coming from here? Is it Full House?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow, you guessed it pretty quick.
Yeah, I loved Full House.
Me too. Because the other thing was, because I was looking at pictures of her, I was like, she kind of reminds me of, like, the twins from that.
Michelle?
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
So.
The twins? The one girl, Michelle?
I would say, it's so weird. It's like, I'm looking on the IMDb, and it's like, Michelle Tanner, Mary-Kate Olsen, Ashley Olsen.
Yeah. I love the Olsen twins.
Yeah. So, anyways, not Mary-Kate, Michelle, that's her name.
Yep.
She is the JonBenet Ramsey
Fantastic.
of our story. And there's a lot of suspects because it's a pretty full house.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So, okay. I mean, in case, because I guess I have watched all of Full House, and, like, a lot of people have, but just in case there's people who didn't, because I guess, I mean, it's an older show, so maybe you didn't watch it, but, like, anyways.
Yeah, anyone listening that is not our age, younger than us.
Yeah. Like, I think we are, like, the end of, like, the generation that would have watched Full House.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
Because, like, let me look at, I want to see what years did this happen.
Full House?
It came out
1987 to 1995.
1990. Yeah, so that's, like, 87 to 95. So, like, I remember watching all the, like, reruns
Yes.
of that. But, like, they still played. So I think, like, yeah, we're, like, the last of the people who would know it. But, I mean, the remake did just come out. Or not the remake, the, like...
Fuller House?
Fuller House, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways. So, we have Michelle as...
I'm sorry, I just want to say something, because you had just said that, like, JonBenet Ramsey was, like, Katy Perry mixed with,
Sarah Michelle Gellar, yeah.
And it says, VMAs 2017, Katy Perry responds to the theory that she's actually JonBenet Ramsey.
Oh.
On Teen Vogue.
Yeah, I would say I've... Because I knew that people thought she looked like Katy Perry. Like, I've seen that before.
I mean, are they the same age? Were they born at the same time? Who knows?
I'll look up.
This is it, guys. We're solving the case of JonBenet Ramsey.
Yeah. I'm gonna look up Katy Perry's, Katy Perry was born in 84.
Okay, JonBenet was born in 1990, so she's a good 6 years older than JonBenet.
Yeah. So...
Never mind, we didn't solve it. Back to what you were saying.
Anyways, so Michelle Tanner murdered.
No.
No.
Not Michelle.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's Michelle. Just a quick character words.
We can't speak here.
Just a quick character overview, so we know who is involved. There is Jesse and Joey.
Yes.
Yes. And then they're kind of like what's their relation? They're like the uncles.
Yes, they are indeed the uncles.
The uncles. The dad, Danny Tanner. And then 2 older sisters, DJ and Stephanie. Who is your favorite in Full House?
Of everyone?
Yeah.
Jesse.
Mm.
Yeah, I liked Jesse. Big fan of John Stamos.
That's fair. I like Stephanie. I don't know why.
I thought she was kind of annoying.
Well,
that's just me.
It's like a sitcom, so they're no. The most annoying is Kimmy, though. Kimmy Gibbler.
I mean, yeah, but that was her whole character.
Yeah, her whole character was just being annoying. But I think for this, we'll focus on like the people who live in the house. So Jesse, Joey, DJ, Stephanie, Michelle,
and Rebecca.
And she didn't live there at first, did she? No.
No, she just dated Jesse.
Yeah, we'll keep it with like the OGs.
All right, the whole family.
Yeah. So, Michelle is murdered. No one knows what happens.
Got it.
I think Danny would be like the mom of this situation.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Danny, the dad, would be the mom.
Yes.
I think if we're going off the sense that, like, I think it would be like, to me, it seems like this is one of those things where it's like, the theory where it's like the brother accidentally like did something and then it's like a cover-up.
Okay, who would be the brother?
I mean, we have 2 options, DJ or Stephanie.
I feel like Danny would definitely cover up Stephanie's murder. As opposed to DJ, because DJ was always older and smarter. Like, she wouldn't kill her.
Yeah, so it would be Stephanie. Unfortunately.
Poor Stephanie.
Poor Stephanie. But yeah, so I think Stephanie would be like the accidental, like, you know, push too far, too hard kind of thing. So Danny I think he would be the only one that actually knows that this is happening at first. And then, again, fakes like a ransom note for some reason. I don't even know. I like can't even think of like because I know in the thing there was like this whole like fake sort of like monetary tag on it, but like I don't even know what the ransom note would be about in this, like, because I don't know what value Michelle has.
Well, I mean, she's still the daughter.
Yeah, but like, you know, but like,
if you want your daughter back alive, I mean,
yeah.
You saying Michelle is worth nothing?
No, and I guess it really isn't about, like, the ransom note really wasn't about like JonBenet Ramsey. It was more about them getting money, because it seemed like it was about the company of like the dad.
Yeah, they didn't like the dad's company. Yeah. So they kidnapped the dog.
Yeah. So something Danny did or something. Like some random thing that's like a stretch.
What even was Danny's job?
I don't know. I don't think they focus on those things.
Did he even have a job?
Who knows?
Was he a news anchor? I think he was.
Maybe.
Comment below. I'm just kidding. We don't have a below to comment, but...
You can comment on iTunes if you want to.
Yeah, with a 5-star review. Linking.
So anyways, Danny would write a note to cover it up, for sure. And so, like, I think in the beginning, Stephanie and Danny would be the only 2 to know this was happening, but, like, he would just be like, okay, like, Stephanie, go, like, pretend you don't know anything that happened and, like, just stay silent, play dumb for this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's obviously what you have to do. So. And then I think slowly, like, you know, police would be called, it would be an investigation, and I almost feel like it would be like, so the rest of the family would get suspicious as well. You know what I mean? Like, Jesse definitely, I think, would know what's up immediately, because he's just like that, you know? Mm-hmm. He would definitely be suspicious really quick. And, like, Joey would just be, like, with DJ and Stephanie, like, just taking them away and, like, having them, you know, do, like, fun stuff with them, like, outside.
I agree.
So they can just ignore it. But Jesse would be the one who would be like, something's up here.
Yeah.
For sure. Because again, I think Jesse, is almost like the, like, skeptic's view into this. Like, he was like, our opinions on these things. It's like, that doesn't make sense. Like, that doesn't add up. Like, that's us.
Jesse is us.
Yeah, we are Jesse.
We are Jesse-kin.
Yeah. So Jesse, and then we'll bring Rebecca into this, just because why not?
Alright.
Like, Jesse and Rebecca would be, like, kind of, like, being, like, confused and, like, okay, what's happening? So Danny would get questioned, obviously, and, like, everyone would get, like, you know, all the forensic stuff would go down. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, yeah, I think the evidence would kind of come up the same, like, just very inconclusive and very unclear.
Yeah.
Because I think they would definitely, like, do a good job of, like, hiding things, but, like, also at the same time, like, some things would be obvious. Like, I think there would definitely still be, like, some DNA, but it's, like, very easily dismissible because, you know,
everyone who is involved is living in the same house.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like we were saying at the beginning, which is suspicious, is how the dad goes and picks her up.
Yeah, and carries her upstairs.
And then contaminates, like, the scene.
Yeah, and her body, kind of. Because then they have to exclude their DNA from the...
Yeah, because if it's on there, it's like, well, you were just, like, picking her up.
You were just holding her, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that would be a thing where it's, like, intentional, like, sabotage from the inside to make things a little bit unclear. Mm-hmm. For sure. So, yeah. But, I mean... It would definitely, I think, would be one of those, like, sort of, like, even though, like, she's not, like, a famous girl...
Yeah, she's not a beauty queen star.
But it still would be, like, you know, a very, like, public story, it seems like. Because it's, like, you know, odd. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But, yeah, I definitely think it would go kind of the route where it's, like, definitely a cover-up of an accident.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think the stranger... coming in thing is very plausible.
Yeah, no.
The intruder, that was the word.
Yeah, because, like, it's just so random. Or it's, like, random. It's, like, not, it's like, going back to the actual case, like, having a ransom, mm-hmm. Having a ransom note, like, I think there would be more evidence and more things to track, like financial records and stuff like that. There would be more tea in the case.
Yeah.
If it wasn't just, like, a random thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So, yeah.
I agree. Just so we don't get any hate comments. So, Joey is the friend of Danny, not an actual uncle. And then Jesse is, the wife's brother. Yeah, the dead wife who died in a drunk driving incident, according to IMDb.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a train tooting really loud.
Yeah, I don't know if the mic will pick that up, but maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. So, anything else we want to talk about?
No, I mean, I think that's it. Pretty much covers it.
Okie dokie.
Unsolved.
Yeah, it is. So, you can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, at Screen of the Crime. We're there. If you want to email us, we're screenofthecrimepodcast@gmail.com. You can also become a supporter. I know I already mentioned this, but it's
Patreon.
Really great. We have one. I'm so excited. It's exciting. Also, if you don't have any money to donate, because I feel like most of our listeners might be college students.
Yeah.
Then you can always give us, like, a 5-star review on iTunes.
Yeah. Maybe
a comment, because that would be really fantastic, because if we get enough reviews, then we'll actually have a review thing. So that's great. If you like us, just give us a review. It's really easy. It takes 2 seconds. You don't even have to have an iTunes account, I don't think, to do it.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.